Well played. Alright. YouTube might be acting a jet. Let's see. Are we even live? Remember did that one time and then it didn't want to go live? And the notification is remember did that one time and then we're live. Let's see. Alright. I know it is late. um but I am back once again after 5 days of not uploading. How are you guys doing tonight on a Saturday night? I would have streamed earlier, but things came up, so I didn't stream earlier. But how y'all doing on this Saturday night? As we always do, or we will make it a tradition to break down everything from the week of Universe Mode that you might have missed in live stream format. Discuss it, and now I will tell you guys my opinion of the best show of the week every single week. Um, Including pay-per-views. What I might do with pay-per-views, um, we'll do like a little, we'll do like how Matthew West used to do it, when he did his little recap. I'm going to just do, we're not going to have a recap that week, like for Vengeance and Backlash. What I'm going to do is after Backlash, because I think Vengeance is first. Yeah, Vengeance is first. So after Backlash, the following maybe 1 or 2 days after Backlash, I'm going to come on, and we'll we'll talk about both shows, and I'll tell y'all who won the brand exclusive pay-per-view war, I guess. So that's how I'm going to do it. Um, but yeah, week 3 is almost upon us. It should be starting next week. I got the majority of NXT done. I got 2 segments left to do on NXT. Raw is nearly done. I just need to we need to finish some little edits. I got the thumbnail for Raw. I got all the matches done on my side, and I'm just waiting on some segments. And SmackDown is almost done as well. I got all the matches done for SmackDown. All I need to do is do the segments, and SmackDown is complete. And I need match cards and thumbnail. But other than that, all 3 shows are almost done in less than 2 days. I've been working on them for like 2 or 3 days. It took me not that much time to get these shows wrapped up. So that's a good thing. So y'all will be seeing Universe Mode next week. So with that being said, let's talk about all 3 shows. Week 2 was kind of a weird week. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Raw and NXT, man, those were some NXT, man. From that previous week last week, and we talked about it, and the mistakes that they made and what they did last week and how they came back this week was just absolutely phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal, man. What a show. What a show. And I gotta say, that cliffhanger at the end of NXT is probably the best cliffhanger besides the Raw cliffhanger, which we'll talk about in just a second. Man, NXT came out and did what it needed to do. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. SmackDown was way better than it was the week before. Way better. SmackDown improved a lot too. I like the Dar and Brock Lesnar stuff. That was probably SmackDown had two of the best segments this week. Honestly, the Samuel Lewis stuff was creepy. It was weird. It did what it needed to do. So I love that about SmackDown. And then probably the best promo of the week was probably the promo of the week has to go to King Dar. I mean, he won promo of the week. King Dar's promo was absolutely savage. I loved it. I loved it. It was, and I talked to Picky earlier, and I said, man, that was short. It was simple and to the point. He probably swerved everybody, and he probably had the promo of the week. Honestly, him and Jay White were fantastic. I think Jay White is probably right now. Jay White is probably the best champion we have right now, and he hasn't even wrestled one match yet. Jay White is more interesting than anybody in CTP right now, especially presumably mid-card champions. Jay White is more interesting from that one promo. He's more interesting than anybody mid-card wise in CTP. Dead serious. He is more interesting than the Creators World Heavyweight Champion right now. The guy that beat Dwayne Frost, Jay White, is more interesting than him right now. Yes, I'm saying that. But the Jay White promo was well done. I liked how he talked to Michael Cole. That was fantastic. I love that. And then the way that he talked about him, saying that's Mr. White to you. That guy was great. That was great. I'm not taking anything away from Buddy Murphy. I'm not taking anything away from Seth Rollins. Even though Rollins, he's been questionable so far as the United States champion. I'm trying to get into him, but it's kind of like too much of a Rollins that I did not like. Hopefully he gets better as the time goes on. Week 3 he does something miles better than he did this week. But Rollins just he's not right now. He got some issues with him. Buddy Murphy, he's just getting into it. So I'm not going to blame NXT right now because I know what they're doing and I'm loving what they're doing, Buddy Murphy. We're just gonna let that one play out. But Jay White absolutely is the most interesting champion right now in the mid card. Period. The guy is great. I'm not gonna go over everything about every show because I don't want to be here all day because I know it's late. But I'm going to shout out the chat real quick and then we'll start the breakdown. If you're new, by the end of this, you will have everything you need to go into the next week's shows where you won't be lost whenever Raw comes along next week. I don't know what day, but you'll see. You won't be lost whenever Raw comes on. But let's see who's in the chat tonight at 9:19. What is it? 9:16 Central Time. That's 10:16 Eastern. And we have a little crowd tonight. Let's see. We got Blake Lewis, the Hurricane Jr. Welcome to the stream. Randall Burness. I never seen you before. Welcome. Dino Man showed up. J&W Boss is always in the building. And Expert Gaming's in the building. So we got two bookers here tonight. They could explain some things that that maybe I didn't like about the show or whatever. They could explain themselves tonight. As for SmackDown, the SmackDown Booker's not here tonight. If you need some explanations, I can give them to you, and we'll probably put that in the chat, or I can get them, and we'll probably put that in the comments section down below if you need some explanations on what happened on SmackDown or whatever. But yeah, so that's who's here tonight. Thank y'all so much for stopping in. I appreciate it. I didn't really schedule this one. The next one we'll schedule for a specific time. It'll be earlier, but I just wanted to get it out the way because I know that week 3 is almost here, and I wanted to talk about week 2 before we get anything going. But yeah, I on Raw. The main thing was we build towards what happened the week before. Now, if you don't know, the week before we had that little interaction between Mr. Gargano, Adam Cole, and Finn Balor, which seen Finn Balor had came out as the Demon King. He laid out Johnny Gargano as Gargano had made a case that he should be the next challenger for Adam Cole's WWE Championship, and Finn Balor made his case as well. So Triple H announced that to Adam Cole, hey, we're going to have a number 1 contenders match tonight on Raw between Johnny Gargano and, what was it, Balor? And Balor tonight on Raw. So I'm like, okay, I like that. It made sense. And the way it ended, whoa, great. It was great storytelling. Great storytelling. From the main event perspective, because you build up from what happened last week with that great ending, and then you take that and then you continue it into the next week. It was awesome. It was awesome storytelling. So then we move on to a women's gauntlet. Now, y'all know I'm a sucker for gauntlet matches. I quoted that the SmackDown gauntlet was match of the week of week 1. I love gauntlets, and when gauntlets are done the right way, they're awesome. This women's gauntlet was no exception to it. Hold on, wait. Somebody tell me. Let me see. Yeah, that kind of was. Well, expert, I wouldn't say it was. No. Well, when you think about it, it did make sense. But since he's, not going to be there, I would still say it made sense because Demon Balor made sense because of what happened at the draft. In my honest opinion, what Gargano did at the draft made Demon Balor make sense. Because Balor unleashing that side of himself after what happened at the draft, that's good storytelling right there. Arguably. So you're good. Women's gauntlet. I gotta say, this was a very, very solid opener. You did a great job with this. I love the match. The story that was told in this women's gauntlet was very good, and the right woman won. You know what I'm saying? Every match had its own unique story. Every match banged. Probably Toni Storm was probably my favorite match of the freaking gauntlet. Was the Toni Storm match. Toni Storm, that match and Io was insane. That match was great. That was probably the best match of the gauntlet. Period. It was really, really, really good. And great job on it. Great job. I loved it. And as I said, we talked about the Jay White promo already. Freaking amazing. I like the detail that Jay White had the little nice little sunglasses on. That was kind of cool. That was really good. Um, and and I like how the gauntlet was, how the commercial, it was like a commercial break. We took a commercial break to the interview. That was kind of cool. So like we're technically on commercial, and we see the freaking thing. That was really really good. NXT stealing for me. Um, let's see what else happened. So then we cut back to the gauntlet. Here's what what really 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 got me. The Bailey. I didn't see Bailey coming. I didn't. I did not see that coming. That was a genuine surprise, because I was like, oh my god, if she wins again. Because Bailey was a savage at WrestleMania Las Vegas. She was a savage. And she had did what she did at WrestleMania and won the women's battle royal. And then I was like, there's no way she's gonna swoop in and do this again. That was really good. The chat was mad like me. I was like, not again. Because I was like, oh no. I was like, oh no. I legit thought that, I legit thought that Bailey was going to win it. I did. When Bailey came out, I thought she won it. I said, poor Io. There's no way Io's going to win this match. Bailey's winning. Period. And I was like, yeah, we're getting Bailey and Shayna. But no, Io won. And I was, very shocked by that. Really, really shocked. Well, okay. Well, I like what J&W said. It could have taken backstage, and it could have been in the empty arena thingy. But the way it was placed was kind of weird. What I would have done is I would have had that be the first promo of the show. I would have had Jay White and Michael Cole talk at the beginning of the show, and then you could have maybe put like a little text before, I don't know, moments before or before we went live or something like that, and that should have played at the beginning of the show. I would have loved for that to play at the beginning of the show. That's just me. But having it take place in a commercial break, that was kind of cool too. And it was a good segue, especially after what we seen from Tony and Io. Like, we kind of needed a little break, especially after that doggone match, which was the best match of the gauntlet. We need a little break to space it out. So, placing the interview right now was still good though. Since it was supposed to take place before the show, that kind of made a little bit more sense. But hey, it was still a well done interview. But not gonna lie, I'm not taking off points for where it was placed. It was still good, and it did what it needed to do. But I thought Bailey was going to win this thing, But hey, she didn't win. Bailey did not win. Io got it done, and Io has made me a believer of her. I am getting behind the Io train, the hype train of Io. You made me a believer of her. So I'm gonna tell you now, keep that up, man. This chick gonna have a bright future on Monday Night Raw. After that, Shayna Baszler came out to stare down her future challenger in the face. Because Shayna Baszler will be fighting Io Shirai soon for that Raw Women's Championship. And man, that match has hype all over it. You can't go wrong with that match. You can't. That's probably one of the best women's matches that we got. You know, besides that NXT Women's Championship match, which we'll talk about in just a second, that thing that's gonna be fire. But that's probably one of my favorite. I would say that's probably one of my favorite women's matches so far that we got down the line is that Io and Shayna match. I'm really looking forward to that. Really, really, really looking forward to that. So, great job on that. After that, we got some matches announced for next week. Next week's Raw stacked. We got Apollo Crews versus Matt Riddle, which is going to be so freaking good. Rusev versus Cesaro. This is week 3, by the way, guys. Crews versus Riddle in a IC title tournament matchup. Rusev versus Cesaro, which is going to slap. I can't wait for that. And Lars Sullivan is back in action, just 2 weeks removed from his beatdown of poor old John Cena. Mr. Sullivan will be back in action next week. But after that, I got interrupted. While I was running down the card for next week, Karrion Kross scared the crap out of me again with his little vignettes. Karrion Kross is coming soon. What is Karrion Kross going to be doing? I have no idea because he keeps interrupting the broadcast, scaring all of us. We'll see where that goes. I don't know what Karrion Kross is going to do. And that's probably one of my favorite stories going on. Yeah, good. A week off after he did good. He deserved the week off. But the Karrion Kross stuff, very, very good. Very, 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 very good. And I'm curious to see what he does. Kross can pretty much mess up anything that's going on right now. He could maybe interrupt the IC title tournament. Maybe he might get involved with what's going on with the WWE Championship. We don't know what Kross is gonna do, and that makes the element of surprise the good thing. We know we know he's coming because of what we've seen, but when is Kross coming? When is he going to strike? That's the thing I'm very, very interested in. I'm very, very curious and very, very interested to see where that one goes. And then finally, I think it was the main event after that. Mr. Gargano versus Balor. This main event was well done. Very, very good. I wouldn't say it was better than the Women's Gauntlet. I had a fixture for that Women's Gauntlet. I thought the Women's Gauntlet was the best thing about the show. Honestly, besides the ending, of course. And the Jay White promo. But this was really, really good. This was really, really, really good. I loved Finn Balor's attire. Finn Balor, that white jacket was so good. Great job on Finn Balor's attire. Gargano, I love Gargano's attire. Man, I love Gargano's attire, man. No, I thought the Gauntlet was better. Honestly, I did. I don't know, but Tony and Io just touched me. It was, it didn't. I didn't even know the main event was 10 minutes long until I sat down and did commentary. I didn't even know that the main event was 10 minutes long. It shocked me a lot. Me too. Me too. Me too. Until I did commentary, I was like, wait, this is like 10 minutes long, cause you know, I always look at the timer that I have in Filmora set when I do commentary to see how long I got left to do, to see if I got to take a break or something like that. And it said that the main event was about 10 minutes long, and I was like, wow, I was stunned. I was stunned. It didn't feel 10 minutes at all. Right. Right. It was moving and it was quick and fast paced. For two guys like that, you should not have a slow match with Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor. I would have got on you if that match was slow. No. No. That match should be fast paced. That match should be constantly moving. Because those two guys should not put on a slow match. This ain't David versus Goliath. You know what I'm saying? It's not David versus Goliath at all. These guys should have went out there and did what they got to do. Yep, exactly. Now, the ending of this show was just fantastic. You know, Adam Cole just wanted to cause his own chaos, and with the UE, all the members of the UE got involved. Big E, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, you know, Roderick Strong, all of them got involved. All of them said, yeah, we're gonna crash the party, you know, and ruin this main event. So we didn't get a winner. And they just caused chaos. You know, it was just bona fide chaos. The club got attacked, you know. Gallows and Anderson got attacked and everything. It was chaos. It was chaos to end the show. Very, very good. Very, very good. Because when they came out, you felt defeated as a fan because you were like, wait, they just ruined this great match. This match right here was great. And you ruined this great match. I mean, everybody was loving that match up until that point, and the match just got taken away from us. So you felt like I felt mad at Adam Cole. I felt mad at the Undisputed. I'm like, come on, man, you ruined a great match that everybody loved. I felt betrayed. I felt betrayed. You know, just but it was so well done, though. The thing is, it was so well done that now you know, now we got a reason to watch next week, because now since Adam Cole did that, he has to fight Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship. Actions have consequences. And that was the consequences for Adam Cole's actions. But, okay. Now our question is, what about Vengeance? Who is going to fight for WWE Championship at Vengeance? Will it be Roman Reigns? Will Triple H announce maybe we get a do-over of Gargano and Balor? You know, I can't even talk right now. You know, I can't talk right now. I don't know why I can't talk. Maybe because I'm too excited. But, you know, what's going to happen with the WWE Championship? The WWE Championship is in the air. You know, are we going to get a new champion next week? Is the Brotherhood going to get involved? Hey, we forgot about the Brotherhood. Roman Reigns has partners with him. So if Adam Cole said, hey, I want to get my UE involved, Roman Reigns said, hold on, partner. I got the Brotherhood with me. You know what I'm saying? Look, I got the Brotherhood with me. Hey, you can't do what you did to the Balor and Cole. I mean, to Balor and Gargano the week before, because I got backup with me. What about that? You gotta think about that. You know what I'm saying? See, Monday Night Raw and NXT so far, SmackDown to a degree, makes you think about what's going to happen next week, and gets you intrigued of what's going to go down. Like, you feel like, I have to watch this show next week. I have to watch Monday Night Raw to see if Roman Reigns is going to beat Adam Cole. I have to watch Monday Night Raw to see what's going to happen with the WWE Championship at Vengeance. What's going to happen with the WWE Championship on Raw? Are we going to get a new champion? What about Gargano and Balor? What's going to happen with... Is the Brotherhood going to get involved in this match? We got to see what's going to happen. You know? That's very, very good storytelling. Because out of all 3 shows next week, the 2 shows I am interested in the most, in my opinion, I've seen all 3 scripts. The 2 shows I'm interested in the most is Raw. For y'all to see. I think SmackDown's going to surprise some people next week. Because the week 3 script for SmackDown is probably the best SmackDown so far. I'm going to say this right now. SmackDown's going to surprise people next week. From what I have done and from what I've read, SmackDown is very, very good next week. But judging from this week too, the 2 shows I'm mostly interested in and that I want y'all guys to pay attention to, and y'all probably going to enjoy from what you seen last week, is probably Raw and NXT. For sure. For sure. But SmackDown will surprise you. I promise you that. Speaking of NXT. J&W, Super Kick, pat yourselves on the back. When I tell you this NXT, I'm just going to say it right now. In my honest opinion, NXT was the best show of the week. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm sorry, Raw. You didn't win this week. Even though y'all had a great... by the way, my rating for Raw is an 8 out of 10. By the way. Very, very good. Just, I wish it had a little bit more action. But that's just me. NXT... You were the best show of the week. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know what I'm saying? Just it's just that simple. This was the best show of the week. SmackDown, you were good. I liked it. I liked SmackDown a lot for week 2. I think Andrews and Rollins had a little bit of a... the only thing I didn't... One of the matches ended weirdly. And that was just from the how it ended. Like one of the endings didn't, was kind of weird. I would say Bate and Montez Ford. The only thing I wish you would have, and not saying it was bad, but I kind of wish that the script was kind of written a little bit better for that match. That match should have just been straight up. Like, okay, Bate just beats him, honestly. I mean, like the little chaos in the middle, I just didn't think, I just didn't feel that was necessary. Bate should have just won him. Bate should have just won the match. Should have just went 15, 20 minutes, and Bate should have just won. But that was my only gripe with that. Because, like, it didn't feel like it needed all of that at all. But other than that, I had no issues with SmackDown this week at all. The Dar and Brock Lesnar stuff was well done. The main event, and I just like the way you just advance the stories. The Samuel Lewis thing has me very interested. You improved a lot. a lot from the week before. So, but NXT was the best show of the week. I just have to say that. And Randall, I am not talking about wrestling in real life. Oh no. I'm not talking about WWE in real life. Dude. King Dar wouldn't even be a thing. What? What is what? I'm not talking about wrestling in real life. I'm just talking about universe mode. I was like, why are you bringing up Kushida? I don't even have Kushida in my universe mode. This is universe mode recap, where I live stream and go over all 3 shows. This is for like new subscribers, because we gain like new subscribers every week. So I want to do like a little recap and live stream form where y'all can ask me questions about what y'all like, and what y'all didn't like. And I was gonna talk about all 3 shows to catch y'all up, so y'all can be ready for the next week's episodes. Yeah. I thought I made it clear when it said WWE 2K Universe Mode Recap Season 7. Why would Raw in real life be on Season 7? I thought that it could have been worded better, but yeah. Randall, you're good. It happens every time somebody just comes to ask me, what do you think of Roman Reigns turning heel and a random on a Universe Mode episode? Everybody asks me these questions every time. I answer them in premieres, because premieres don't hurt like the overall thing. Like, I can answer, like, if somebody asks me, did I watch SmackDown in a premiere? Of course I'm going to answer and say, yeah, I watched SmackDown. It was blah, 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 blah. Because, in a premiere, the Universe Mode video is already done, edited, and commentated. So I can answer questions like that in a premiere. But like live streams, I tend to try not to get off topic that much, because I love to run my mouth. And if I get off topic too much, like I'm going to run my mouth on something that... like talking about the WWE draft. I could talk about that for like a whole hour and something, and get way off topic from what the video happens. So I have the chat pulled up. I'm looking at all y'all messages right now, and and I was like, wait, Randall's talking about Kushida, and I was like, what? I got confused, but yeah. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, Randall, you're new. I never heard of you before neither. Well, welcome, Randall. Let's see who else is new. I never seen wait, what's that guy name? JKY Games YT. I never seen you before neither. Welcome. Well, this is Coltrane. I'm the head writer of Coltrane Productions. Hey, I welcome you guys. I never seen y'all chat before. Some people have been watching me. They'll be like, well, I never talk. I was like, well, that's okay. But hey, y'all found my channel, and I'm glad y'all are here. Welcome. I appreciate y'all for being here. Oh, you watched the streams before? Oh, that's awesome. Sammy, you're not new. Sammy, you've been here for almost 3 years now. Stop. Come on, Sammy. Oh man. Well, we are, our chats are always free to open. You can express your opinion and mind. I try to answer the chat as much as I can. Sometimes I'll be missing messages, but hey, it's all good. But I'm glad you're chatting now. It's good to chat with us. We're not a bad community. We've had some bad apples before, but it happens every year. Okay, I never seen you before. I got a lot of new faces tonight. I never seen this guy neither. D-Dog G, welcome to the stream. Yo, my my career don't work. Well, I haven't played my career on 2K20 since I don't know, July, July of June of I don't know the last time I played my career mode. I didn't know that. On what game? You know, I 2K20, I guess. I don't know what game you're talking about. Well, you're new. Welcome to the stream, I guess. Thank you for being here. But where was I? I forgot where I was at. I was talking about SmackDown. My bad. Anyways, yeah. So SmackDown was not a bad show at all. It was. I will give SmackDown I don't know, 7.5 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, I'll give SmackDown 7.5 out of 10. Out of 10. You know, just for a good opening match, but a weird ending that kind of threw me off. A great main event, and Samuel Lewis. Samuel Lewis. And Ronda Rousey. She was awesome too. Ronda, that Lacey Evans thing that nobody was talking about that, and I'm surprised nobody talked about that. Ronda Rousey got laid out by Lacey Evans. 2 women's rights right in the face, and Lacey Evans knocked out Ronda Rousey in the middle of the ring. Yeah, poor Ronda. Ronda just destroyed Violet Vega and got laid out by Lacey Evans. Great job, Lacey. Is that a death wish? I don't know. She might regret that. And all that stuff like that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, good. That where I was at. But that's your SmackDown recap. I don't got to recap SmackDown now. I just did it. 7.5 out of 10. Now NXT. Now this is the one I want to talk about. I have it right here. Pat yourselves on the back, Mr. J&W and Superkick. Y'all had the best show of the week. A New Way of Business. Now, I didn't understand that title before I made the show. But when I was making the show and looking at the script and going through the motions, and I was trying to get the meaning of a new way of business. And I finally got the meaning when I was editing NXT in Fillmore. I thought about what the meaning of the new way of business was. And it was pretty much basically a new era of NXT. I loved Mark and what he did with NXT, and I can't thank him enough, because without Mark Will 105, you would have never gotten NXT last season without him, you know. And I thank him so much, because without him there wouldn't be a third show, because y'all knew I couldn't do 3 shows back to back. That's why I quit NXT the first time. I quit it because I couldn't handle booking 3 shows in a row. Even though the great culture and has limitations. So Mark came up to me, if y'all don't know the story, that he said that he wanted to help me, you know, and book NXT, and I bought it back. That was all because of him. If Mark didn't write those scripts, because at the time I couldn't do 3 shows. I couldn't. It was a rough patch around that time period going on behind the scenes with me. I couldn't do them. And he said, I will take them. I'll write the scripts. You just make the show. And that was our deal, and he did it. So I thank Mark for his services. Now a year later, he's one of the most popular graphic designers in the Universe Mode community. The guy makes amazing thumbnails. He's charging people now, which is awesome, and he's making his bank. I appreciate it. I was one of his first clients. I feel special. But I was his. Basically, he started making stuff for me. I was one of the first guys he made stuff for. You know, he made my first ever WrestleMania graphics. And he made the majority of almost everything that I had until the towards the end of season 6. He made everything from the beginning of season 6 until like the end, like we got towards the end of the season. That's when I started bringing in other people to make stuff for me. But yeah, it was just like, man, what a journey it was. He was my first NXT booker and my first ever graphic designer. Mark is the man, the first, and I was his first client. Mass shouts to him. But I finally got what it meant was a new way of business. NXT has never felt different. NXT has never felt like that show. I loved Mark, but Mark said he has said many times that, hey, the booking stuff is hard for him, and he had to get a lot of help from me and J&W whenever he wrote his scripts and stuff. But a lot of people said that they never thought about NXT being the best show of the last season. It never felt like that show. But when NXT took new management, the first 2 weeks of NXT has beaten out everything from the beginning. Oh wait. That's not who I think it is, right? No. No. Oh, that's okay. I was like, wait, that makes no sense. Okay. Oh, that's funny. 10 NBA graphics. Oh, Ricky made graphics. You see, y'all cut me off. I see. That's why I need to make sure I put the chat on. Yeah, that was a hard. Y'all almost got me. Cause y'all did almost got me. My chat wasn't on because the actual Merce YT13 is a moderator on the channel, and he is verified. So I would have known. I would have known if it was him, but my chat wasn't on. Y'all almost had me for real. Good one. Anyways, what I was saying again, I keep getting off track. As I was saying, the first 2 weeks of NXT has been better than the peak of season 6 of NXT from last season. And I felt the peak of NXT was that NXT TakeOver Chicago, that NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. Yes, it was Brooklyn 2. Yes. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2. NXT TakeOver Miami. NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. The first 2 weeks, you can argue, were better than some of those takeovers from last season. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Because we always thought, as the guys that booked NXT, that the takeovers, had to be on another level to show out NXT. And those shows were great. The majority of them. I think the worst takeover we had was probably That's interesting. What was the worst takeover we had? Well, the one that we were most disappointed with as a takeover was probably Philadelphia. I think Mark didn't like one of them. I think he didn't like Philadelphia, or he loved Miami. Miami was still one of his favorite shows ever. He didn't. Well, he liked Vegas too. Well, yeah. I don't think he liked Philadelphia. Yeah, I don't think he liked Philadelphia because of how the build was. Yeah, that one was a mess. But I'll talk about that. That could be a story in itself. But yeah, we might actually talk about that after I finish doing. Yeah, yeah. The 2 out of 3 falls match was probably the best thing about the show. Honestly, me too. I enjoyed night 1. I just didn't like night 2. I thought night 2 was it wasn't that good. Night 1 was great, but night 2 was no. I even said Takeover Las Vegas was better than night 2 of WrestleMania Las Vegas. I truly believe that. I have sat down and looked at what went wrong with night 2 of WrestleMania Las Vegas at least 4 or 5 times since the show since the show premiered, and it was just match placement. Some of the matches was just meh. Night 2 didn't feel like WrestleMania to me. It didn't feel like a WrestleMania, honestly. But as I was saying, the first 2 weeks have lived up to takeover quality from last season, and I gotta commend JNW and Super Kick for that. Those guys have been kicking tail with NXT, and NXT has felt like one of the best produced shows of the week. But you know, like you see here, it's hard to pick the best show of the week every week. You know, last week it was hard to pick the best show of the week. This week it was hard to pick the best show of the week. And I feel like I'm going to have, every time I come on here every week, it's going to be hard to say, oh, this show is better than that show. You know, I like it about that, because now all 3 brands feel equal, and all 3 brands feel like, yes, this could be the best show that we have of the week because of who's behind them. And I never felt that about last season. I always knew that SmackDown was the best show of the week the majority of the time last season. SmackDown was the best produced show of the week, period. Raw was not that good until Raw was good until Samuel Lewis lost the belt. And that's when Lewis lost the Critics World Heavyweight Championship, I didn't like the way Raw was booked by me, personally. I thought SmackDown had the edge at the SummerSlam, honestly. And SmackDown just ran away with it. Once Batista got the belt, it was over. Like, SmackDown was the best show of the season, period. And we'll see if that happens again this season. I think it's going to be very, very close to see who, out of the 3 shows, who's going to win best brand of the season. I don't know if y'all can pick that at the Slammy Awards. It's going to be really, really interesting. I'm very curious how that's going to go. But now you can't even pick a best show of the week. That's how hard it is now. It's just that simple. And I never felt like that about NXT. I always thought NXT was either the second best or the worst show of the week last season. And that's nothing against Mark, you know. It's just that at the time I wasn't as good as I am now. There were some major mistakes that were made, you know. And I always say you live and you learn, you know. And we have a new way of business, you know, a new era going on. And this new era has been great. Y'all did a great job with this show this week. Probably the best part of the show, surprisingly, a lot of people told me that Bobby Lashley and Daniel Bryan was very, very good. Now, I trust myself with some matches, but there's some matches that y'all tell me are good that I didn't think were good. I did not think Bobby Lashley and Daniel Bryan was good. I did not. I thought that it was just an average match that I said, you know, oh, he gave me this amount of time. Or he said, just, you know, do what you gotta do. So I just did what I had to do, and I just came up with that, and I just called it a day. I didn't think that match was going to be like, okay, people said that this was very, very good. I didn't know it was very, very good until I sat down and watched it for a third time. Well, for a second time, when I sat down and watched the premiere. I didn't think it was good. Honestly, I thought it was an average match, but people told me it was good. Looking back at it, that was probably the second best match of the show. The main event, Ciampa Black, was very, very good. Very, very good. The main event was the best match of the show. Honestly, I gotta be honest with you. But Lashley and Bryan slapped. You know. So I commend that. I appreciate y'all for the kind words, but when I was making the match, I was like, this was all right. And then I look back at it and I was like, dang, I really did wild out. Like, dang, I really did try on this match. like this was very, very good. Y'all ever have matches like that where y'all don't think it was good, but then you watch it back and be like, yeah, this was actually good. You know, that's how I did that. Thoughts on that match in the Joe stuff? Yes. So the main event was great. You know, Ciampa. What? Oh yeah. That's true. That's true. I've had a few matches like that I thought that wasn't good, and people told me it was good afterwards. You know, I've had several of the matches like that. Now when I think I did bad on the match, sometimes it was very, very bad. I.e., Undertaker and John Cena at the Royal Rumble. People. When I was making the match, I thought it was amazing, and I looked and that premiere chat just ruined it. Just that premiere chat was like, oh, this is it wasn't that good. I was like, man, and I was like, man, I was in the zone for that match, and that match was not that good. It really wasn't. I think that was probably one of the worst Hell in a Cell matches I've ever done. Easily one of the worst Hell in a Cell matches I've ever produced. Easily. Yeah, and I took my lesson on that and really improved it. You know, it just, yeah. Picky's commentary was not bad. Picky's commentary was very, very good for the match. I loved Picky's commentary for it. Picky went off on the commentary. Commentary was awesome for the match. But the match itself was just, yeah. It wasn't really that good. You know. But you have matches like that where you thought that were good and they actually turned out bad. And you have matches that say you thought it was meh, but it was actually great. You know, it happens. You never know. You never know. But back to Black and Ciampa. Yes, Black and Ciampa was very, very great. And So far, I'm liking what y'all are doing with Tommaso Ciampa. Y'all are keeping that character I made for him with the Project Challenge. Y'all keeping that intact a little bit, but not trying to make it a little too obvious, which is awesome. But y'all are really making Tommaso Ciampa shine, which is great. And the role that Tommaso Ciampa's in is absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Like he's around that, chasing the NXT championship. You actually feel like he could be champion. That's great. You're not pushing him immediately. You're giving him time to develop and get back to the spot that he was on Monday Night Raw with the United States Championship, which I adore. I'm loving what y'all are doing with Tommaso Ciampa. I'm loving what y'all are doing with Aleister Black, protecting Aleister Black, making Aleister Black a big deal. He in 2 weeks is already as big as he was on SmackDown. Period. The guy Aleister Black came in, kicked the NXT champion's head off. Then he came out here and freaking put on a great match with Tommaso Ciampa. That's a superstar right there. That's a superstar. Great job. Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. This was awesome. For the first time ever, and I really mean this, I've never done a Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks match in Universe Mode. That was my first ever Becky and Sasha match. Well, no, I did do one. I'm lying. I said on commentary I did several. But, wait, what I said? I forgot what I said on commentary. I said that it was one of their first meetings in a long time. And the past Becky and Sasha matches I have done have been okay. Like, I could never get a good match out of Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch for some odd reason. All my matches have been okay to meh. But I think this was the best Becky Lynch and Sasha match I've ever done. Personally. This was very good. I think because of the ending, how they told me she wins with this. Here's the thing I like about the bookers. Everybody's different. Some of the bookers for some shows, they give me some things to do in the match, and then they give me the ending. Some of them be like, "Oh, Cole, this is the ending. It goes this amount of time. Just get there." I like the ones that tell me they give me the ending, and I gotta come up with the spots to get there to that ending. I love those type of matches. All J&W told me was, "Hey, Sasha Banks wins with the bank statement." I have to get there. I have to get to the point where Sasha Banks wins with the bank statement. And that's why that match had the story it had, with submission holds, grapples, high obtained offense to get to the bank statement. But then I like the ones that say, "Oh, he goes for this and that, gets countered into that, and that's the finish." I love those too, because then it makes me work hard. It makes me go, "Oh, I have to, get make sense with it." So then it makes me think about the spots, or think about what I want to do. I love both types of scripts that y'all give me, and I've noticed that the NXT just tell me, they win like this. Give them 10 minutes and do your thing. And I was like, yeah, and it'd be like, yeah. So now I gotta come up with the spots, but make sure I do that ending. That's a detail I noticed. SmackDown, I noticed, love to give you. He tells you he tells you how he wants the match to go. Then he tells you certain spots to hit, and he gives you the ending. I love that. I love that so much. But then I love the one. Then I love NXT that just tells me, give them this time. That's how they win. You get there. So then I gotta be so then I have to be creative because I don't have no spots to go off of. I gotta be creative myself and come up with the spots to get to the ending. You know what I'm saying? So both types are very, very good. I'm not gonna go over the full show, but I'm gonna go over some synopsis. Kurt Angle announced that Buddy Murphy versus Daniel Bryan best of 5 will start in 2 weeks' time. He also announced that the winner of the Women's Battle Royal will face Sasha Banks in 2 weeks for the NXT Women's Championship. And those were the two biggest things that Angle announced for next week. So look forward to that, which I will tell you all the Battle Royal winner in just a second. But I want to talk about the Samoa Joe stuff. The downfall of the top 1% has been written very, very well. Yes, that was last week's show, by the way. The downfall of the top 1% has been written very, very well. I love what NXT is doing with Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's a bad man. You know, Joe, the week before this, week 1, he punched EC3 in the face, walked off. Everybody was like, "What's going on with Samoa Joe?" And we thinking, okay, might have been some little frustration. They might have got through it, you know, this week. And then Samoa Joe all of a sudden just comes out dragging EC3. He cost the top 1% the tag team match against Heath Slater and Rhino. And then later on in the night, he attacks another member of the top 1%, which basically signifies that Samoa Joe is leaving the top 1%. The top 1% are in group dysfunction right now, as Samoa Joe just beating up all of the members right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, Samoa Joe gives no F's right now. It's great. It's great. You know, overall, you know that you can't trust Samoa Joe for long periods of time because, you know, eventually he's going to do this. And Samoa Joe was actually showing his true colors when, you know, the top 1%, he's not, you know, saying, okay, give me a few weeks. You know, EC3 been saying, you know, he been saying, well, NXT is going to be our playground. NXT is going to be where we shine. You know, Samoa Joe said, I don't got time for that. He gave EC3 literally one match on NXT. They failed, and Samoa Joe has left the group, and he's going to tirade and beating the living crap out of all of them. Where it's going to lead eventually, I have no clue. Are we going to get Samoa Joe versus EC3 one-on-one at TakeOver Chicago 2? Who knows? Are we going to get Andrade versus Samoa Joe, which will be great? Are we going to get Titus O'Neil versus Samoa Joe? What's going to happen? We have no idea what is the next move of Samoa Joe, which makes me so interested to see what Samoa Joe is going to do next. Who's he going to attack next? You know? Like, I'm very, very curious to see what he does. I think the last thing I have to talk about is the Battle Royal. So, the Battle Royal winner, to make a long story short, was Miss Candice LeRae. So, she will face Sasha Banks in 2 weeks' time for the NXT Women's Championship. So, Sasha Banks' future is Candice LeRae. Great pick and great move right there. I can't wait for that match. Banks and LeRae has money all over it. They're gonna tear the house down. And that NXT Super Show that they're planning right now and booking right now looks very, very good. So then we got Aleister Black and Tommaso Ciampa. Like I said, in my opinion, the best match of the night. But I want to talk about the ending. So Aleister Black wins, but then we see Drew McIntyre. He shows up backstage. He was watching the match, and he talks about what Aleister Black did to him with kicking his head off. The week, I'm trying to think, the week before, and and he said that he wants to face Aleister Black in 2 weeks' time for the NXT Championship. So then, out of nowhere, Kenny freaking Omega shows up, and he attacks Drew McIntyre with a steel chair. Steel chair. He hit him with the one-wicked angel as well. And Kenny Omega says, and I quote, "I'll see the winner at TakeOver Chicago." And that's how the show ends. So I'm like, oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. What an ending to NXT. So we got confirmation of Black and McIntyre in 2 weeks' time in 2 weeks' time at the NXT Super Show that they're booking. And from the original thing, my original thought, this what makes this so good. I thought that we were going to get Aleister Black and Drew McIntyre at TakeOver Chicago too. This was my thought. I'm thinking, okay, before I read the script for week 2, I thought that, hey, we're going to get Black and McIntyre at TakeOver Chicago too. There's no way that they're not going to do this match at TakeOver Chicago too. So they threw me for a swoop, and when they said no, you're going to get it in 2 weeks, so I was like, what? And then I seen the Kenny Omega thing, and I was like, oh my, okay, now I'm intrigued. So what's going to happen now? Are we going to get a triple threat? See, is the match going to be one-on-one? What if McIntyre loses in 2 weeks? How does that change the complexion of TakeOver Chicago? You know? Now, I'm curious to see what's going to happen with the NXT Championship and that main event scene. Honestly, the main event scene of NXT is probably the best main event scene right now in CTP. They have the best main event scene. Point blank. I'm more interested in what they're doing than what I'm more interested in what Raw and SmackDown are doing. Not saying Raw and SmackDown is bad. I'm actually digging the little story between Lesnar and Dar, even though it's kind of weird because I never I never seen a heel versus heel storyline, because technically Brock Lesnar's a heel and technically King Dar's a heel. So, you know, Picky's kind of, you know, he's taking a chance with that, and we'll see how that goes. I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll see how it goes. And the Raw main event scene has been great too. It's kind of a tie between Raw and NXT, but I think NXT has me a little bit more excited because I legit don't know what they're going to do. I don't know, like, what's going to happen with Black, what's going to happen with McIntyre. How does Kenny Omega fit into this? Then you got from top to bottom, you got Combustion on NXT. A best of 5 is starting. Samoa Joe running a Rampage. The tag team division in NXT is just absolutely insane right now. Buddy Murphy is Buddy Murphy. You know, top to bottom, NXT is a lot more interesting than any other brand right now. Honestly, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm not gonna lie. NXT is the most interesting show right now. The current NXT North American champion is Buddy Murphy. Yes, I forgot it. Buddy Murphy's the current NXT North American champion, and I forgot this. I forgot NXT has Keith Lee. I forgot they have Keith Lee. Keith Lee is the current NXT Global Champion right now, by the way. Um, they have Keith Lee, and NXT has the Cruiserweight Championship, which they still have not shown off yet. That champion hasn't appeared yet. So we'll see what they do with him. We'll see what they do with them down the line. But yeah, NXT has a lot of championships right now, and they have a lot of divisions. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If I'm going to be honest, if I rank each division, Raw has the best tag team division right now. NXT has the best main event. SmackDown probably has the best mid card. If I'm going to be honest, maybe. I haven't seen. I'm going to be honest. So far, I haven't seen that much of the Raw mid card to make a judgment on how their mid card is yet. But from what I've seen, SmackDown has the best mid card right now. Calls, SmackDown wins, because I haven't seen that much of NXT's calls yet. I haven't seen that much of Raw's calls yet, so I don't know how that's gonna go. Besides Lorenzo Sampson, I haven't seen a lick of anybody else besides Samuel Lewis and whatever NXT and whatever SmackDown's got going on. So far SmackDown's winning the call battle. Women's divisions, ooh, that's interesting. I love all three. Ronda Rousey. That Ronda and Lacey thing is intriguing me. We'll see how that goes. Candice LeRae and Shayna, and then you got Sasha and Candice. I'm sorry, no, Candice LeRae and Sasha, and then you got Shayna and Candice, and Ronda and Lacey. Oh yeah, we gotta talk with Dino. Yeah, we gotta talk with him. We do need to talk to him. Yeah, Dino, we got to talk to you about something. I'll DM you tomorrow, but we gotta talk about something. But yeah. So that's my overall thoughts of week 2. Week 2 was a solid week. I don't say any show was bad. All shows still need to do. I'm very, very excited for Backlash. I'm very, very excited for Vengeance. And I cannot wait to see how y'all think week 3 is. Right now, I think week 3 has brought out the best in every brand so far. I think week 3 shows are the best. It's probably going to be the best Raw, best NXT, and probably best SmackDown we have seen so far. Honestly, it's getting dicey. It's getting interesting as we approach our first pay-per-views of season 7. You will see Vengeance in 2 weeks' time, because week 3 and week 4, then you will see Vengeance, and then you will see then you will see Backlash in 3 weeks, and then 4 weeks after that will be the first takeover. So we're getting into pay-per-views very, very soon, and I am so excited for it. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm like one of them little 10-year-olds, that watching wrestling for the first time. You get so excited. So I feel like a kid again. I'm so excited, man. This season has been just so good. It's so good. It has a smile on my face, for this season so far. Like, there hasn't been, despite the little, right, yeah, literally, right now, like, despite the hiccups week 1, like, ever since that little miscommunication week 1 with everybody, week 2 was smooth, and then week 3, everybody communication was great. I loved all 3 scripts. Like, it feels like, it feels good, man. It feels great. I guess if I want to advertise things to look out for, AJ Styles is returning next week on SmackDown. What's AJ Styles going to do for SmackDown? We got a WWE Championship match on Monday Night Raw. We got craziness on NXT. We'll see if Samoa Joe's Rampage will keep up. We'll see how that one goes. We'll see what AJ does. We'll see how King Dar responds to almost getting clotheslined by Brock Lesnar. What's going to happen with him on SmackDown? What's going to happen with, the tag team event on SmackDown? How will Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins take that loss to I can't think of his name. To Tyler Bate. How that's going to happen? I'm very curious to see how that one goes. But I guess since NXT told me I could announce the main event, I'm going to announce the main event of NXT. Your main event of NXT, from what I have here, is Kenny Omega versus Daniel Bryan. That's the main event. Yeah, I didn't stutter. Kenny Omega versus Daniel Bryan is your main event of NXT. Your main event of Monday Night Raw is Adam Cole versus Roman Reigns. Yeah, it's stacked. It is stacked. So, we'll see how all of that goes. But if y'all enjoyed this recap, hit that like button, subscribe down below, and I will catch you all very soon for week 3 of Universe Mode. What's going to happen for all 3 shows? I'm very curious. And since SmackDown said so, your main event of SmackDown this week is a 6-man tag team match between Robert Roode and Mustache Mountain taking on Seth Rollins and the Street Profits. And what's so good about that main event? It ties back to all the stories we've seen for this week's episode of SmackDown. Y'all remember Robert Roode and Seth Rollins, how that ended with Robert Roode kicking Rollins in the Rollins. Christian Miracle joke. Don't judge me. And y'all remember how y'all remember how Montez Ford and Tyler Bate ended? Yeah. That crazy ending right there. Now we get a 6-man tag with all those combustible factors. That's interesting. I'm intrigued. See, Picky telling stories that make sense from week to week. I like those little small details. He put 2 feuds together and combined them in one and put them in a 6-man tag team match. Yeah. Very, very, very good job. Very, very good job. I have to say, all 3 main events look promising. And I will tell you guys what show was the best show of the week next week, once we get close to week 4 shows being done. I hope y'all enjoy week 3. I don't want to hold y'all too much longer. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday night. Good night. Like, subscribe, and share. And remember to be phenomenal or be forgotten. It's not just a saying. It's a way of life. If y'all enjoyed the live stream format of the recaps, let me know. I've been thinking of doing a podcast format, where I get guests on to talk about the shows. If y'all want to see that, comment down below. Or maybe if y'all want one week, y'all want the recaps to be edited one week. Comment down below too. I might could edit a little recap video for y'all one week, and actually try using Phil Moore for something. So if y'all want any of those things, let me know and comment down below, and I will try to integrate them into the show. But other than that, y'all go ahead on and enjoy the rest of y'all night. I'm about to get out of here. I've been your host, Coltrane. Thank y'all for 1,560 subscribers. We're on the road to 1.57K. What that? 57? Yeah, 1.57K. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a very, very good idea. I might do that next week. Have the bookers on of each show go on and talk about and talk all in separate sections. That's good. So when I talk about Raw, I have the Raw booker on. Talk about NXT, I have an NXT booker on, and then when I talk about SmackDown. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a really, really good idea, Piggy. We're gonna try that next week. Yeah, we're gonna try that next week. Thank you for the idea. I like that. Anyways, thank y'all so much for all the support, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Good night, everybody.